everyone, this is Susie. So today we're going to be making a pumpkin and black bean soup. This recipe is originally from Rachael Ray, but I tweaked it a little bit to make it vegan. And here are the ingredients, okay? So I roasted 3 tomatoes, and you can do this the day before if you like, because these do take a little bit of time. And then once they're roasted and cooled, you can just peel them so that you don't get the char in there. You don't want the char. You just want the roasted tomatoes. Or you can use probably like one of these cans of the fire roasted tomatoes instead if you don't want to do that. Okay. And then I have salt, pepper, pumpkin puree, black beans, better than bouillon, or you can use 1 cup of vegetable broth if you like. I have extra hot chili powder, curry powder, cumin, 3 garlic cloves, or as much as you like. Okay, this is, up to you. And then I have about ½ a cup of white onion, some tofutti sour cream that I jazz up, and I'll leave the link to that video if you like. Or you can just use whatever sour cream that you prefer. And I have the Chobani oat plain milk. You can, if you don't have oat milk, you can just use whatever plant-based milk that you prefer, as long as it's not sweetened, okay? And then you can use some baby arugula or spinach or chopped kale if you like. This will go at the end. And for garnish, you can use some chives. These already come like like lightly dried, or you can use fresh ones if you have. That would be better. So let's get started. Okay, so I have a little bit of oil, and I'm going to add the onion and the garlic. And it doesn't have to be finely chopped because it is going to be blended in a little bit. And you just want to saute this for a few minutes, okay? So I've been sauteing this for 5 minutes now. And now I'm going to add the peeled roasted tomatoes in there. Because they're really soft, you can just break them in. So just mix that in there really well. And then now, this is where you add your 1 cup of water or your vegetable broth. If you're not going to use vegetable broth, then you just use 2 teaspoons of the better than bouillon. And I'm just going to throw that in there, okay? So there's the bouillon, and you just want to mix that in, okay? You can see that it's hot, but I'm not going to let it come to a boil because I'm going to put this in the blender, and I don't want it to be super hot. So I'm just going to turn it off right now and let it cool for a little bit. And while this is cooling, I'm going to rinse my black beans because I don't want the juice that's in there, okay? Now that I let it cool for about 5 minutes, I just transferred it over to my blender, and I am going to blend this till smooth, okay? It's the tomatoes, the onion, and the garlic. And what's the other thing I was going to say? You don't have to add the whole cup of the water. If you want it to be a little thicker, just add ½ a cup and that should be enough, okay? So now I'm going to return this back to the pot. Oh my goodness, the color is gorgeous. And the other thing that I forgot to mention is if you guys have any like jarred roasted bell pepper that you need to use up, maybe you can add that when you add the tomatoes to it. You can just chop them up a little bit and then just sauteing them a little bit there, and then you blend everything together. So the roasted bell peppers would be included in this mixture right here. That's if you have any left over. I've done it with that, and it really adds another layer of flavor, and it tastes really good too. So now we're going to turn this back on. So now I'm going to add the spices. I'm going to add 1/4 of a teaspoon of the cumin powder. And you can start with less and then add more if you like. And 1/4 of a teaspoon also of the extra hot chili powder. And of course, you don't have to add this because it is really spicy. And this is the one that you get at the Indian store, okay? I really like their chili powder. And then 1/2 of a teaspoon of the curry powder. And I'm just gonna blend that in there, okay? Since the Better Than Bouillon does have a little bit of salt, that's why I didn't add any in the beginning. I'm just gonna go ahead and add this, and this is to your liking. This is up to you. And I'm also gonna add some ground pepper. And now we're going to add the pumpkin puree. This comes to about 1.5 cups of the puree, so if you make your own, just so that you know how much it comes out to, okay? And I'm just gonna throw that in there. So I'm just going to mix in the pumpkin puree. Oh my goodness, this color is gorgeous. And here's where you add the milk. I really like the oat milk because it's really thick, so it's not as liquidy as like the soy milk and stuff. And also the flavor is just delicious. This is really my favorite milk. And it's just like I was telling you, if you want this to be a little bit more like liquidy, not as thick, then you just go ahead and add some more of the milk, okay? Last time I did it, I added 1.5 cups of the milk, but I thought that this time I would just do 1 cup. So you guys can see like the thickness of it, okay? And now I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of the sour cream. Also, if you don't want to add the sour cream here, you can just save it until when you serve it and then just drizzle the sour cream on top of the soup, you know, kind of to decorate it if you like. You can also do that as well, okay? And just mix it in. And this is where you want to taste it, just to make sure that it doesn't need any salt or pepper or any of the spices. And you can just adjust it to your liking, okay? And you do want to have this on like low heat, because if not, this can start jumping on you if it gets too hot. And finally, we're going to add the rinsed black beans, and this also is about 1.5 cups of the beans in case you use your own. If you make your own, then that way you know what amount it is, okay, that you need to add. And also this is to your liking. If you want more or less of the beans, that is up to you. So we're just going to mix that in really well. And now that I added the beans, I'm just going to cover it up and let it come to a boil, okay? It's been about 5 minutes, and you kind of want to give it a stir just so that it doesn't stick, okay? It's been about 8 minutes, and I think it's ready to be turned off, okay? So I placed some arugula leaves on my little bowl, and now I'm just going to add the soup on top of it. Oh my goodness. So here you have it. Okay, so let's give this a try. Oh my goodness. This really is one of my favorite soups, I think. I really like this soup. And I have a little bit of bread here. Oops. I always make such a mess. So you can kind of do this if you like. Oh my goodness. This is so good. So good. Ooh. It is hot. Oh my goodness. This is so good. Yay! This is so good, you guys. Oh yeah, baby. So I've tried this with the spinach and with the arugula, and personally I think it tastes better with the arugula, but if you prefer spinach or kale, I'm sure it tastes great with kale too. So this is so good. It's like, you see, it's really thick, And if you don't like it this thick, you can just add more water or more milk, and it should be just fine. So I am satisfied with this recipe. I hope you guys enjoy it. If you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Have a great day. Bye.